On this week's show, Peloton's CEO weighs a price hike and teams up with the University of Texas and shakes things up.
Plus, Selena Samuela shares an update to her schedule. Captain America rode live in studio with Alex Toussaint and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 210 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I am Amanda Siegel, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John.
Hey, Amanda. How you doing?
I'm good.
It's a snow day here in Michigan.
I wonder if anyone missed us last week, John. Do you think they missed us? Do you think they even realized we were gone for a week?
I don't even think they noticed.
No, they had to have noticed. Everybody was waiting for their weekly John and Amanda banter, and they didn't get us. It's a snowy day in Michigan.
Yeah, snow day here. So school cancel. I swear these days schools are so soft with canceling school so early the day before. That just never happened in my day. And also with the snow we got today, I mean, it wasn't necessary.
The kids could have gone.
Delayed opening at best, but I guess they either cancel school or they don't. There's no more delayed openings. That those days are long gone. Yeah. But Jackson's out with a friend. They're canvassing the neighborhood, making some money. Shoveling. So he did some shoveling last weekend, and he actually all the money he made he donated to his church. So
that is amazing. This
time around he's keeping all the profits, but
that's okay. Good for him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's got a good
heart. Absolutely, that's amazing. Such a sweet kid. Yeah, I escaped the snowy DC weather. I left DC, got some snow Tuesday. We have had quite a snowy winter up on the East Coast this year, and came down to Miami for some sun and warmth. So I'm here for the next.
Must be nice.
It's nice. It's nice. So I'm here for the next 2 weeks. Had a fun weekend in New York last weekend. Again, sorry folks that we were not on air, but had a fun weekend. Did some great classes. Had 2 great classes with Maddie, and actually took a Christine Derkley's class in lieu of Jen Sherman. She subbed for Jen Sherman on Sunday morning. That new wave class.
Oh, yeah, I was on that live, yeah.
I know you were. I know, and I liked seeing you on there. And I have to tell you, I really loved the class. It was a really, really, really great class. She is lovely. I need to work out with her more. She says all the right things for a 50-something-year-old woman, So for someone like me, it's great to, hear her just be so real and honest, which was awesome. And then had a phenomenal 45-minute flow with Mariana. It just fills my bucket. So, those were my 4 classes, and fun weekend. I took Kayla to see The Outsiders. There's an Anne Frank exhibition that has opened up.
Dennis posted about that. Dennis Morton.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said how moving and powerful it was.
Beautiful. They did an amazing job. Amazing job. So we went to that. We did like a little tea. It was mom and girl time. And you know what? While they still want to hang out with me, I'm there. It's like whenever they call, say, Mom, I need you. I'm there. So
they wait for the magic words. It's my treat. Let's go.
Right.
Then they're in.
Right. They know when Mom's coming into town for their ticket support, nice dinners. But it's always my pleasure. So, So I had a fun weekend. And just moving along. So we do have lots to catch up on this week, folks. So we're not going to bore you with our banter. We will go right into it. But as always, we like to remind you that before we get started, we want to keep you up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. So if you do want to get to take a look at John and I, just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode.
Yep, and we're on all traditional podcast platforms. Or if you're on the go, you just want to listen, hear the audio, just find us under Pelo Buddy TV and like and subscribe.
Definitely. And of course, we are on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, X. So just search Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms for all of the latest news. And now let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, Peloton's newly appointed CEO, Peter Stern, has yet to make a decision on whether or when the company will increase subscription prices. But it's definitely been looming. It's definitely been a question that has been arising lately. The uncertainty comes after Peloton's interim leadership had previously indicated that such a decision would fall to him, the new CEO. But during the company's latest earnings call, an analyst inquired about a potential increase in light of approving churn rates. And in response, Stern acknowledged the importance of pricing as a key business lever and emphasized that the company is carefully evaluating its approach. He stated, quote, "With regard to pricing, to state the obvious, pricing is a powerful lever with every change up or down essentially dropping straight to the bottom line. So we're taking a hard look at pricing alongside everything else in our business." And he didn't comment on specific changes, but he did point to recent pricing adjustments made to hardware as part of Peloton's broader strategy to improve their unit economics. So in Q1, the company increased the price of the Row in the United States, which was surprising in the United States as well as in Canada, and raised prices for the Bike and Bike Plus in international markets. And then Peloton, just for some background, they last increased their subscription fees in April of 2022, so almost 3 years ago, increasing the cost for its all-access membership, which is what anyone that has the hardware, that's what we pay, the all-access membership, to $44 a month, while reducing the price of the hardware back then. And this was actually the first time in nearly a decade, the company had increased their subscription pricing. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be mad. I feel like the value is completely there and justified for a slight increase of maybe $5 or $3. So to me, if it helps them, stop the bleeding of the cash burn so much, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I definitely agree with you on that. Yeah. So I think on the tail of your story is obviously we missed last week, so we're sharing it with you this week. But Peloton did release its Q2 fiscal year 2025 earnings on February the 6th, with CEO Peter Stern addressing the company's financial outlook. So Peter said that the company is prioritizing financial stability before shifting focus toward future growth. That was kind of an interesting point. Some of the key financial highlights were revenue. The revenue is at $674 million, which exceeded the analyst's $654 million forecast. The loss per share was at 24 cents, which was higher than the estimated 18% loss. Year-over-year sales did decline from $744 million to $674 million. So that was a pretty significant decline in cost, in sales at least. The gross profit increase was up at $318 million from $299 million. And lastly, the adjusted EBITDA was $58.4 million for the quarter. So despite the lower overall revenue, cost-cutting measures helped increase gross profit. The company also raised full-year estimates for revenue, margin, cash flow, and connected fitness subscriptions based on positive trends. They did share that Peloton aims to enhance its offerings for better member outcomes, as well as the growth in strength training, with over 2 million of Peloton's 6+ million users taking at least one strength workout in Q1, highlighting a massive shift beyond cycling. So that was a really interesting statistic that they put out there. The investor reaction has been good. The stock initially surged. It stabilized with about a 9 to 10% increase over the earnings release. So we're seeing it kind of, hovering just under $10 a share, which is stable. At least we're not seeing it at $2 and $3 like it had been last year. So, look, let's hope that he finds what needs to be, that magic potion to get the company back to where it will be. And we have lots to share in this, in this week's show as to some of the things that they are looking at doing. So let's hope that all these little bits and pieces that we share with you will ultimately help, gain the strength and momentum of the company.
Amen. Well, Peloton this is pretty cool partnership. Peloton has entered into a partnership with the University of Texas, UT, in Austin, that will see Peloton Bike Plus and Row devices on the campus in it's called the Gregory Gym on campus there. A new webpage is available with more information, but Gregory Gym, often referred to as Greg Gym to students there, is the main fitness and recreation center at the University of Texas. And the new Peloton workout space will feature numerous Bike Pluses and Rows, along with additional accessories such as workout mats in a specifically branded Peloton room, which we shared some pictures of, which looks really, really nice.
Cool.
All UT students will gain access to the Peloton platform through this partnership. And this is reportedly the quote unquote first immersive Peloton workout space in campus recreation, quote unquote. Community members are encouraged to join the hashtag Peloton @Texas hashtag to connect with fellow Longhorns, discover popular workouts, compete real time, and share encouragement through the virtual high fives. And this new partnership is a continuation of Peloton's college strategy, which was first announced back in 2023. That strategy was initially launched with the University of Michigan, and the goal is for Peloton to partner with the universities, colleges, and even athletes. It has also seen Peloton try to place Peloton devices in other college campuses around the country in a way to introduce new folks to Peloton and the platform, though this appears to be the most in-depth push so far into college campuses. I know we had at the U of M at University of Michigan, we had some Peloton branded Bike Pluses that eventually were for sale to the public. But I think they discontinued that whole offering. So we haven't seen any kind of new rollouts of advertising. I think that was kind of it with the college. They decided not to, I guess, continue any kind of promotion. Because when last year, I think a year or so ago, when we went to a Michigan basketball game, during a commercial break, there was a competition on the floor with two people doing like military crawls, and it was led by Katie Wong on the Chrysler Arena Jumbotron. So they incorporated the whole,
Interesting.
the Peloton, and they had a Peloton Bike Plus in the corner on the floor of the basketball court where an athlete, was keeping warm, probably just coming off the court. Yeah, just pedaling. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I have to say, I think the concept is brilliant. And I think that if they can, there's nothing like getting the young kind of exercising and working out. And if they get hooked on the platform at college, once they get into a job, they can afford to go buy themselves their own bike or piece of hardware, and then will continue, continue that commitment, for no better word, of just keeping up on the platform. So I really like the idea. I think it's if it works with University of Texas, hopefully they will incorporate it into other schools across the country. I think it's a great.
I feel like we're going to get some sort of promotion. I hope with Matthew McConaughey, because he's big at UT. He's actually he teaches a class there, some sort of film class. So he's very popular. He's involved with University of Texas. So I feel like it would be a natural fit for him to do some advertising, some sort of reel or something on social media to promote it. So I feel like
Well,
I
it
feel
would
like
be
we'll
cool.
hopefully
And I
get that.
think, and I think with some of the instructors being so vocal about their colleges, like, Ash Pryor, who's a big Ohio
Ohio
State,
State. Yep.
going out there, being in the gym, perhaps, working out with students. That could also, hey, Peloton, are you listening? I think this is actually a really cool idea.
I think they're on top of it.
Andy Spear coming down to
At
University of
Miami. Yeah.
These that are vocal about their, alma maters and coming into gyms. If, once this, I don't know if any of the Peloton instructors were UT grads, but I think it's a great way.
I know of, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great way of definitely
sure.
encouraging students to participate. So yeah, all right. Well, moving on. Everyone's been asking, so we're sharing. Where's Selena Samuela? Well, she announced a change to her teaching schedule, confirming that she will now teach live classes just 1 week per month at PSNY. She'll be at PSNY this month from, I guess it was just or coming up. She'll be there this February 17th to the 23rd. And will follow a 1 week per month live teaching cadence moving forward. While she hasn't taught live, and I didn't realize it's been this long, John, since November 17th of last year, she has continued to release pre-recorded content to the on-demand library. She also confirmed she will teach, she'll continue to teach her Tread Bootcamp content, but that will all be pre-recorded instead of live. Her reduced schedule is similar to Callie Gullickson's move to teaching only 1 week per month after relocating to Florida. And although, they haven't been compared, they haven't said, okay, well, Selena's going to be doing the same schedule as Callie. It seems that maybe they're shifting that. It is separate from Peloton's off-season policy, though. So, that is completely independent where the instructors are getting these 3-week, timeframes off of the platform. So that is completely independent of that. And that was introduced back in 2024, really just to provide the instructors with some more flexibility. As I said, Selena did not give a specific reason for the change, but it does provide some clarity for members that were wondering about her absence from the live schedule. So,
for me personally, it's a bummer because I love doing her live boot camps, her runs, her live classes on the tread, which I feel like a lot of instructors just aren't teaching live content on the tread. Andy, Rebecca, Adrian during the week. Now he just has the
weekends, and he's
Thunder 45 on Saturday mornings at the crack of dawn. But I did see some people, her responding to some comments, and I feel like, with Callie, I feel like that's kind of what she wanted because she wanted to live in Florida. I don't feel like this was really Selena's choice. I feel like Peloton, with a lot of these contract negotiations, they're looking at the numbers, what the instructors are driving people to take their classes, and they're saying, hey, you're based on this. Selena's probably nowhere near as popular as Jess Sims or Cody or Robin in the traffic that she brings. So they just said, here's what we can do. And so, and she said, if you like my classes, please, share your feedback with the company, take them. They obviously listen. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is.
I will say one thing. I will add my 2 cents here, since we are a podcast and we do share our opinions. I just wish there was more transparency. I feel like she was almost forced to make that announcement. There was something that somebody posted on social. I'm not going to call anybody out. I didn't like it. I think it was unfair. I think members sometimes say too much. I think the instructors should be entitled to their own, way of sharing information.
When people are saying, "Oh, it's privilege," and that sort of tone.
Correct. I don't like that. I just feel that everybody has an opinion about everything, and you know what? Keep your mouth shut.
That's you don't know all the facts.
You don't know the facts.
You're just spewing.
And they're entitled to. And I just feel that Selena was pushed into making that announcement on social media, and it didn't come across as being forthcoming. Like she didn't feel it wasn't the right time. You know, she kind of threw it out there right out, like literally right after she was called out on her schedule. And I just wish that Peloton were a little bit more transparent. You know, I just wish that they would come out and say, this is like they did with Kelly. This is what we're doing.
I feel like they never do that, and they never will. Like I don't really feel like they did that with Callie. I think Callie just kind of said, "This is what
the same
I'm going to be
thing
doing."
I don't remember.
I'm going to be commuting, you know, spending a week in New York to record content to teach.
Right. Look, I think it works for some people. I think it doesn't for others. And I think we just have to support them. As I've said 1,000 times, there is a ton of content on the platform. There are a ton of amazing instructors. You know, you'll talk about the get to meet the team. You'll talk about that. But I think that's a way for everyone to get to find out who's on there. And I gotta say, I just hate the constant opinions that everybody has. You know, it is a workout platform. Go do your workouts, have fun, enjoy yourself. You know, team up with your friends. Do that, but let the instructors be. You know, let them be. That's just my personal feeling, and that's not grounding. That's not nothing. It's just my own personal feeling. Let them be. You know, and go from
you're
there.
not alone. Well, shifting gears a little bit, Peloton has released a very special class as part of their promotion and collaboration around Marvel's upcoming Captain America movie, Brave New World, which actually just came out this past Thursday, I believe. The new 30-minute Peloton superhero ride. It features Marvel's Captain America, now played by actor Anthony Mackie. It took place live at Peloton Studios, New York, with Alex Toussaint. So they have side-by-side bikes on the stage. The class was released on demand overnight just last week, but it was recorded with members in the studio the previous week on February 5th when the studio was, a Wednesday when there was no live classes and the studio's typically closed. While Peloton normally doesn't have members in studios, they did have some random members to facilitate that whole production that day. So the class 2-for-1 style format, Anthony Mackie, it starts out with Alex just on the bike, and then he quickly, within the first minute, introduces Anthony Mackie. He gets up on stage, clips in, they start riding together. And the theme, given the red, white, and blue colors associated with Captain America, Peloton used those colors throughout the ride in the studio for the lighting package, with red lights on the podium highlighting instructors and blue lights overhead. Towards the end of the ride, while the AC/DC song Thunderstruck was playing, Peloton set the lights to the rhythm of the music, flashing red, white, and blue. And how they've done in recent, some other recent classes, Peloton had additional camera people on hand. There was one person, with a camera attached to them, sort of, walking around freely around the stage, getting some up close zoom shots, which was cool. With a Steadicam, get some good angles there. And then a few of the regular bikes towards the front were removed to, allow them some leeway, some room to get around and maneuver there. But throughout the ride, it was great. Alex would ask Anthony various questions on how he trains to keep his greatness activated. When he faced adversity, Anthony answered some questions as a way to motivate members during the ride. And then near the halfway point, he gave some motivational words around doing what you can do now. He said, he mentioned at the end of the movie Avengers Endgame when Steve Rogers was like sitting on this cliff and Thanos and his whole army were there. He said how he turned to his left, and he turned to Anthony Mackie, and he had his whole crew there. And Alex was like, "I'm on your left right now. We're all in it kind of together.
Very cool.
Together we go far cool. Theme." It was a hard ride. I did it the morning it was released. Like it was, within like the first 30 seconds of the ride, like Alex was out in third out of the saddle. So my heart rate the whole time was yellow, basically. But the music was great. The music was a great playlist, great motivating songs. And then tying in with that, Peloton has launched their latest flash challenge called Train Like a Superhero. The challenge is happening. It's already concluded by the time this episode has aired, but the challenge ran from February 7th to the 14th, and it awarded a badge for taking classes from the new Train Like a Superhero collection. So the challenging collection, in collaboration with Marvel as part of their cross promotion for the Brave New World movie, it consists of 7 workouts, which Peloton says were curated with Anthony Mackie. And what we got are the ride we just mentioned, the 30-minute superhero ride, Tunde's 20-minute upper body strength. Adrian has a 20-minute glutes and legs strength. Kira Michelle's 20-minute full body mobility. Andy Spears' 30-minute full body strength. Rebecca Kennedy's 20-minute full body strength. And Rad Lopez's 20-minute HIIT cardio. The collection originally had 6 classes, but with the superhero ride, it bumped it to 7. Yeah, and you can earn different badges depending on how many of those classes you take. You get a bronze for taking at least 3, a silver for taking 5, and you'll get gold if you take all 7.
Nice. Definitely cool.
Yeah.
And I think I like when they do these fun bits and pieces and changes it up a little bit.
I've heard good things about the classes and the ride. I've not heard good things about the movie.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I'm not a big Captain America.
It's got really bad reviews.
Too funny. Oh, that's
And I saw Ash Pryor went to
I did see
some
that.
sort of premiere for it.
And Alex was there. Alex was at a premiere with one of the producers. So he looked very sharp in a suit and, was there. So that was kind of fun to see.
Like, I think I'm going to maybe wait for it to come to Netflix
and watch it there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to see that. I'm trying to see The Brutalist in the theater, and that's like a 3-hour, 3.5-hour epic movie with Adrian Brody. So that's the priority.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, Peloton also partnered with Coors Light for a special Case of the Mondays campaign, which was designed to help members recover from Super Bowl festivities. On Monday, February the 10th, 2 exclusive classes became available. A 30-minute Best Case of the Mondays ride with Ali Love, and a 5-minute Best Case of the Mondays meditation with Chelsea Jackson Roberts. Some of these highlights within the campaign were that the classes were really meant to help football fans re-energize after a day of indulgence. A special Case of the Mondays badge is available for those who took these classes. And the partnership marks an effort by Peloton to extend its reach beyond fitness and into pop culture and sports audiences. But it is noted that in the Coors ad at the Super Bowl, there was no Peloton.
I know. That's what I was That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah. So there was no Peloton in the ad, but
I know that was kind of weak.
Was kind of weak. They would have been.
It was a bunch of sloths riding on very generic spin classes in a very generic spin class setting.
Right.
And just slowly, and I was waiting for some sort of transition to a Peloton instructor. And then it was just immediately
the energy after having a Coors Light.
And then it was just basically, it was a stitch on social media that Peloton put out with Jess Sims.
Right.
Yeah,
so that was a little disappointing. That was a little disappointing. But Case of the Mondays. Week football game, can't say it. Week football game this past week.
We know Jen Sherman was happy. She's still riding high off of that Eagles win.
Yeah, she will ride high for a while. So will all the Eagles fans. And look, they dominated. They just killed the Chiefs.
I was really hoping for a shutout. Like, I was kind of bummed when the Chiefs scored a couple times. I was really hoping they would just shut them out completely.
I honestly think that at the end, the Eagles were just so tired.
Yeah.
They almost gave it to them, at the few points at the end. We're like, all right, here's some crumbs for you guys since we dominated.
Well, Peloton has a new set of classes called Get to Know Me. Peloton's Get to Know Me classes, they're all 5-minute warm-up classes. They're designed to help introduce members to instructors they might not have tried before. There are over 50 of these new classes, one for every current full-time Peloton instructor on the platform. You can't find them in the regular on-demand library. A heads up, At this time, they can only be found within the new Meet the Teen collection. So just in case you're just searching in the General On-Demand library, that's why. There are new Get to Know Me, Meet the Teen classes for many workout types for cycling, running, walking, yoga, strength, and rowing. With the new collection, Peloton's also launched a new flash challenge called the Meet the Teen Challenge. And it runs it's going on right now, from February 10th to March 11th, and will award badges based on how many of the new Meet the Teen classes you take. So you can earn a bronze badge for taking 5 of the Peloton Get to Know Me classes, a silver for 15, and gold for 30, and a super fan badge for taking 54 of the classes if you're hardcore.
And I do like the fact that they have subtitles for the German classes
nice.
In English. So that was really cool. I've actually really enjoyed them. I have been taking them before classes, before yoga. I took a couple before a walk. The other day, I actually just ended up doing, I think I ended up doing 5 of the classes as my walk in the morning. It's fun. Obviously a lot of them we know the ins and outs about, but I really think that they've done an amazing job in putting these together. And I am hoping, my goal is to get through all of them. I want to be able to do all 54 of these classes because I think it's just cool. And I like how they put it together. I think it's great. I think it was a great.
There's the debate, you delete the 5-minute.
I don't delete fuckers.
You don't delete. I delete them when I need to line up the milestone.
Right.
But...
Me too. Yes. Then I would go in, but I like these, and I'm getting my badges.
Yeah, okay.
And
I guess it's okay in this situation.
In this scenario, right?
Yeah.
In this scenario,
right. It's fine.
But anyway, I think huge kudos. I love it. I think it's great. And good for them. And like little things I actually didn't know. I knew Kirsten Ferguson's story, but not entirely. It was cool to get to hear her parts of her story. And then some of the ones that I haven't yet. I've done more of the ones that I know. So I'm kind of keeping the ones that I don't know towards the end. All right. Well, some disappointing news. It looks like Peloton has now officially removed Core Bike Bootcamp classes from the platform. Tunde confirmed the change via Instagram, directing members to alternative 5 and 10-minute core classes instead. The last Core Bike Bootcamp class was released on August the 18th of last year, which was a 30-minute session with Cliff Dwenger. Members can still access past Core Bike Bootcamp classes via the Body Focus filter in the Bike Bootcamp section. Peloton has not provided a formal reason, but the move may align with the launch of the new 50-50 bootcamp format, which balances strength and cardio with fewer transitions. And I have to say, I really, really like those 50-50. I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I jumped on that Cody bike bootcamp because you had said that you were doing it. And I didn't like the fact that you were on the bike, off the bike, back on the bike. So I do think that the 50-50s it's a nice way of being able to kind of get your cardio in and then get your strength in and be done in 30, 45 minutes, etc.
And it's evenly broken up and there's very little time wasted in the
transition
the shoe store.
The transitions is just a pain. So
Nice. Well, Peloton's Strength Plus app has 2 new instructor curated strength training programs available for you to join. The most recent releases are Adrian's Thunder 5x5 program and Logan's Dynamic Strength program. And Adrian's new Thunder 5x5 program is an intermediate 1-week program with 5 days of workouts. And before you join a Strength Plus program, the program information page features the full equipment list that you'll be using during the program's duration. So I'll give you the suggested workout schedule for the week, what programs are programmed for each day. And the Thunder 5x5 Strength Plus program, it includes the following equipment: barbell, a bench, a cable machine, dumbbells, incline bench, loop band, leg curl machine, pull-up bar, and a medicine ball. So a few different options. I'm not really that familiar with working out there, but that's what it lists. The suggested schedule is workouts on days 1 through 5 with a recovery on days 6 and 7. And each workout day is 45 minutes in duration. That's for Adrian's program. And also, you may have seen Logan's dynamic strength program was also released on the Strength Plus app. And this program uses equipment including a barbell, dumbbells, a bench, loop band, jump rope, kettlebell, plyo box, pull-up bar, and foam roller. And the suggested schedule for this one for each of the 2 weeks is to work out on days 1, 3, and 5 with recovery on days 2, 4, 6, and 7. And Logan's workouts for this program are 45 to 60 minutes in duration.
Wow. Nice. Definitely hard. All right.
I have to go get some new I have to add some equipment before I hop in those.
To get to do those. All right. Well, artist series. So the most recent artist series is the One Republic artist series. For those that are not familiar, who could not be familiar with One Republic, but an American, pop rock band from Colorado Springs, Colorado. They were formed in 2002. And Peloton are featuring 7 classes across pretty much all the modalities. So running, strength, yoga, and rowing. It dropped this past Thursday, February the 13th. The series included both live and on-demand premiere classes, with 2 taught in German. The classes that dropped were a 30-minute ride with Bradley Rose, which actually was on demand. And I think folks were a little disappointed. I think they thought that he was going to be in studio, and there was a little bit of a snafu there. But that was dropped at noon on or the morning, sort of like early morning, like midnight, I think, on Thursday morning. There was a 30-minute ride with Charlotte Wiedenbach. A 20-minute run, which was with Marcel Meyer in German. That was a premiere run. Then the live classes were a 30-minute yoga flow with Mariana Fernandez. That was at 6 p.m. on Thursday evening. Logan Aldridge had a 30-minute One Republic run at 7 p.m., while Ash Pryor had a 30-minute row at 7:30 p.m. And then on Friday, Ben Aldous dropped a 30-minute upper body strength at 11:30 a.m. So just a fun collection of One Republic music.
Nice. Well, we also got another artist series the previous week before One Republic, the week where we didn't have an episode and weren't able to share those details then. But we got another artist series of the month featuring American hip hop group De La Soul. This series, it began back on Thursday, February 6th, and included a total of 6 classes across 5 modalities, including 1 class taught in German, and the outdoor audio class was released straight on demand, but the others occurred live. And we got a 20-minute outdoor walk plus run with Marcel, a 20-minute De La Soul yoga flow with Nico. That was in German. 20-minute full body with Robin. 30-minute yoga flow with Chelsea Jackson Roberts. A 30-minute ride with Emma Lovewell, and a 30-minute run with Jocelyn Thompson Rule. So those are all now available in the on-demand library if you missed any of them.
Sounds good. And then Peloton is celebrating Black History Month with a series of special classes and events throughout February focused on music-driven workouts. The celebration includes 3 themed class categories: platinum producers, so hip-hop, Supreme Soul, and Gospel Globe. Some of the confirmed classes so far are a 30-minute Gospel Glow yoga flow with Chelsea Jackson Roberts. That was dropped on February the 2nd. There was a 30-minute Supreme Soul row with Ash Pryor, which dropped on February the 3rd. And then a 30-minute Gospel Glow run with Kirsten Ferguson on February the 9th. Ali Love had a Supreme Soul ride on February the 9th as well. New classes will continue to be added to Peloton's Black History Month collection throughout February. Additionally, members who participate in these classes will earn a special Black History Month 2025 badge. An in-person event at Peloton Studios New York is also planned for later in the month. So definitely make sure that you check out Pelo Buddy, because we will share that with you guys.
Cool. Well, Peloton guest cycling instructor Christian Van Velde, otherwise known as CVV, was back this weekend with a 2-hour 2-for-1 Power Zone endurance ride with Matt Wilpers. It happened on the morning of Saturday morning, February 15th. And then plus on Friday morning, February 14th, he taught a live 60-minute Real Roots ride at 6:30 a.m. And then he is also on the schedule to teach this coming Tuesday, February 18th at 6:30 a.m. with a live 45-minute PZ endurance ride.
Nice. I did like the cute little reel that Peloton Studios put out of the
Him and Matt?
No, they did the studio staff that were kind of preparing, like, what do we do to prepare
Oh,
for
yeah.
120, kind of running around.
Yeah,
and,
they're kind of like all lined up like soldiers.
Yeah. Soldiers and getting ready. And
They just need to get the whole plethora of bananas ready that they
for
usually
all the
offer, midway.
Is this the second or the third 120 class that they're doing?
I feel like it might be the third.
Third. I think it may be the third.
I did the
too.
very first one, the 2-hour
not for me.
And I was like, okay, it was kind of cool. It didn't go as slowly. I mean, it was sort of a slog at some times, but I just felt like I don't need to do 2 hours on the bike, in one sitting again.
In one sitting. And also, I think I've sometimes
unless Cody's
done,
teaching it or Jen.
I've done sometimes 2 30-minute classes or 45-minute, but it changes it up, different instructor, whatever. I think just the consistency of 120 is just way too long for me.
Well, also if you're doing back-to-back rides, like if I work up like a big sweat and I'm sort of like drenched, it feels kind of gross once you get into that second ride or that next hour where you just feel like soggy in your shorts and you start to feel like you're getting like diaper rash from all the sweat.
Chafing.
And it's just not a great feeling.
Right. 120 minutes in studio is a long time, but all the more power to those folks that did it. So I think that's great. Well, this was kind of fun to see. Peloton has revamped its milestone and achievement badges, introducing brighter colors and unique designs for different fitness modalities. So these updates apply to class milestones, for example, first ride, 100th ride, etc., streak achievements, daily and weekly streaks. The new badges feature vibrant colors like pink, purple, green, and red, each customized by fitness type. So, for example, the bootcamp badges say bootcamp. Row badges feature like a wave-like design on them. Streak badges now have distinct colors, differentiating weekly versus yearly achievements. The new badges are rolling out gradually, so some members may still see the older designs for certain milestones, but definitely make sure that you look out for those. I was kind of surprised. I didn't know that they were coming. I guess I hadn't read up on my Pelo Buddy, so didn't know. And then all of a sudden was like, oh, wow, these are different. And then, of course, Chris had an article right after that.
A lot of people didn't seem too crazy about them.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought it was kind of nice.
Kind of felt like a lot of people were like, why is this lane break themed colors?
Right.
It's kind of a mixed bag of
I thought it was
feedback.
Cool. Something different.
Well, more showrooms have closed, Peloton retail showrooms, as 2024 came to a close and the new year began. Peloton continued its strategic initiative to streamline operations by closing additional showrooms across the United States. So this move's part of the ongoing effort that first began in August of 2022, intended to reduce the company's costs and optimize their physical retail footprint. So over the past several weeks and towards the end of 2024, the following Peloton showrooms have shuttered. So Santa Monica in California, the San Diego, California location, Santa Clara California are those three on the West Coast, and then Lone Tree in Park Meadows, Colorado, Dedham in Legacy Place, Massachusetts, the local showroom in Michigan, closest to me in Troy, Michigan, which was at the Somerset Mall. That closed at the very end of 2024. And the Seattle Bellevue Square, Washington location closed. And then in addition to closures, Peloton has also started to explore and bring back some retail concepts. So some silver lining there. So one notable example, which we shared about recently, and also when they had an instructor event there that Rebecca Kennedy was on hand for, is the reopening of a micro store showroom in Nashville, Tennessee. Wasn't that the one that was Rebecca at, that she went to in Nashville?
I think so.
Or was it? I thought it was.
Yeah, I think it was Nashville. Yeah, I think it was.
At the mall at Green Hills. We shared previously, instead of a full storefront, Peloton introduced what they call a micro store concept, which functions as a mall kiosk style setup. Wait, maybe she wasn't at that, because I feel like she was in an actual retail space somewhere. Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't think it was. It wasn't that one. Maybe it was in Tennessee, but the Nashville micro store stands in stark contrast, though, to Peloton's former retail spaces that we've come to know and visit. Additionally, over the last few months, they've relaunched a pop-up showroom in Bondi, Australia. This temporary location comes after the company previously closed all its permanent retail spaces in Australia. And, here's the thing with the showrooms and the cost cutting. So Peloton, if they get the option to break their lease early, they take it, which was the case at the Troy showroom,
Michigan, right?
Because apparently the employees there were notified at the end of October that they were going to be closing, and that was the situation there, and closing at the end of December. I thought it was weird, like they made no
announcement.
Like the person who I'm friendly with there, I didn't get a text from him or anything that we're closing, we're having a sale. It was kind of like after the fact when someone posted on social media that
it was no longer
they were randomly in the mall and it was closed.
Yeah, that's how I felt about the Aventura one. When Aventura closed, it was just gone. I walked in, it was gone.
Yeah.
It was like one day it was there and one day it wasn't.
I don't know. Maybe they're not allowed to say anything and they just like close quietly, and that's the process.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, last up in the news this week, Girl Trick, in partnership with the NBA Total Health, is hosting a community wellness walk today in conjunction with the NBA All-Star Weekend. The event is aimed to promote self-care, movement, and sisterhood. Some of the things that were being offered is a walk through Golden Gate Park. There is an NBA All-Star lineup with special guests, with a supportive community of like-minded women. And one of those like-minded women is Tunde. She will be there leading the warm-up session. So if you want to get a peek and say hi to Tunde and you are in the San Francisco area, then definitely make sure you head over there. The event is free. It was designed for all ages. Participants were encouraged to bring friends and families and to inspire the next generation to prioritize health and happiness. And let's go straight into Instructor in the News. John, you kick it off.
All right. Well, Peloton was recently a Jeopardy question on the game show a week or two ago now. I think the category I want to say was fitness, and it was a $300 or $400 question. But the answer was, this company's star instructors for member workouts have included Kristen McGee for yoga and Cody Rigsby on the bike. And the gentleman who answered it, did in fact get it correct.
Good.
But it was funny, they filmed Jeopardy so far in advance. So I'm pretty sure that they filmed this before Kristen's departure at the end of June of last year. Because it was like, everyone's, and Kristen and I shared it in my stories, and Kristen also posted the clip, and Cody also shared it as well. But yeah, I feel like
it's going to be hard for her to see, though.
Yeah,
I think,
I know.
I was almost like salt in the wound.
It was nice to see the outpouring, like, oh, we miss Kristen, bring her back.
It really was nice to see that, but definitely
too soon.
Yeah, bittersweet. Well,
Yeah.
Bradley Rose shared his story on metro.co.uk. And it's always good to hear Bradley's story of experiencing a stroke at the age of 32, despite being in top physical shape. Bradley said that while teaching a boxing class in 2019, he developed an excruciating headache, later realizing he couldn't remember his audition details or even how he got home. After sleeping 24 hours straight, he assumed it was just burnout, but later tests confirmed that he had suffered a stroke caused by an undiagnosed congenital heart defect, ASD. Some of the key takeaways from Bradley's journey that he shared was the misdiagnosis and delayed treatment. Initially, he was told he was just burnt out. He continued working out until he started slurring his speech, leading to proper medical evaluation. He returned to the UK because he was living in the States. He was living in Brooklyn at the time. He returned to the UK for heart surgery, which also revealed a second hole in his heart. Struggling with vertigo, memory loss, and fatigue, Brady found unexpected healing during pandemic lockdowns. His slow recovery led him to join Peloton as an instructor in 2021 after an invitation from Cody Rigsby. Bradley is very open and shares it a ton on his bike. So very often you'll hear him talk about it. And he really just wants to raise awareness that strokes can happen at any age, encouraging folks to listen to their bodies and seek medical help.
Well, Ohio State University featured Ash Pryor for Black History Month on their athletics Insta page. They shared Ashley Pryor went from walk-on to Big Ten champion as a standout member of Ohio State row. Her transformative experience on the team inspired her return as the director of operations, where she helped shape the next generation of athletes. She founded Relentless Rowing Academy, one of only 3 Black rowing programs in the country, while also serving as president of the Black Coaches and Rowers Association. Now she continues to break barriers on the global stage as a One Peloton rowing instructor. So congrats on the recognition, Ash.
Very cool. Very cool. And Robin Arzon was on The View last week on View Your Deal segment, sharing some of her favorites. She started off with Peloton apparel, of course, then went on to Serena Williams Win Beauty, a lip and cheek combo. Then on to Miranda Kerr's organic skincare. Next, she shared Ceremona's hair care. Slip was the next product, a very silky pillowcase and a cute eye mask. And lastly was Kaizen, a protein lower carb pasta made out of lupini beans, which is very healthy. For 24 hours, viewers were able to save 50% off if they purchased any of the products that she was showing.
Surprised she didn't want to hawk her book or her hustle journal.
It was brought in there. It did talk about her being a hustler and that she was a former lawyer. It was brought in there.
Can't forget that. That.
No, you can't.
Well, Camila Ramon made a whirlwind of media appearances in Miami recently, which she recapped in a very sort of quick, sort of frenzied TikTok post titled 24 Hours in Miami. But she was interviewed on a couple Spanish TV shows on Spanish networks. On the Spanish TV show called Despierta America, which is on Univision. And then also she was interviewed on a Telemundo TV show as well. But seems like she had a blast for the quick visit to Miami there.
Nice. And Cody Rigsby was on an episode of The Vault with Dr. Judith Joseph, chatting about 10 things we wish we knew in our 20s, the love edition. Cody talked all things love with regards to relationships and how to love oneself first by taking care of one's body. It was a fun 10 things for sure. So head on over to... He was also
recently, we didn't mention it, but he was also recently on Chelsea Handler's podcast, which was pretty fun because her podcast, they, a lot of podcasts take questions from people that submit it, but with hers, they actually have the person that submits the question on the podcast.
Oh, wow.
So they're having a dialogue with the person that submitted the question. So that was kind of fun, especially when he was chiming in, giving his relationship and fitness advice.
Right.
So I enjoyed that one because I've never really listened to the Chelsea Handler podcast.
Yeah,
before.
She's funny.
Anyway, moving on, Matt Wilpers was giving some cycling tips on outsideonline.com. The title of the article is How to Optimize Your Indoor Cycling According to a Peloton Coach. And he suggests structuring how to structure your indoor bike training. So just to give you sort of the cliff notes of this is first, he says, set a goal. He says when your outdoor cycling season ends, Matt says that the time to set your goals for the coming year, it puts a flag in the ground and to say, okay, I need to be ready for this. He says it gives purpose also to your workouts. And then he says, focus on technique. Said when you're training indoors, pay attention to where you're feeling the work of the pedaling. You should primarily be using the big muscles of your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, rather than the smaller muscles like your calves. He says warm up. Warm up is essential regardless of your training phase. He always recommends a 5-minute warm up that starts with an easy pedal for about a minute, followed by 3 to 4 minutes of spin ups for 30 seconds. On and then 30 seconds off. That helps build up to a higher cadence. And then he talks about indoor training phases to best prepare for spring and summer rides. Your training cycle should have 2 different phases, a base phase and a build phase. And then it goes into much more detail if you want to dive into the article there. I'm sure we have a link to it on pelobuddy.com.
Nice. Good stuff. All right. Well, there are no birthdays this week. So we will go right into class picks of the week, and I will go ahead and kick it off, John. All right. First up, we have Chelsea Jackson Roberts' 30-minute De La Soul Yoga Flow from the 6th at 6 p.m. This one came to us from Amaja 3, and they said music paired perfectly with her flow for this one. Katie Wong had a 30-minute full body strength from the 7th at 9:30 a.m. Came to us from Sarah C. 33, and they said the pyramid style, tough pyramid style workout, fun workout. I loved it. And then Charlotte Wiedenbach had a 30-minute metal ride. It was in English from the 8th at 9 a.m. Came to us from Just Dance Lisa, and they said great fun. This also was one where she got off the bike during the ride too.
Well, all right. Next up, Anna Greenberg's 30-minute yoga flow from February 8th. Armajar 3 said Anna always has great slow flows, and this was a fantastic one. Mariana Fernandez's 60-minute pop run from the 9th. Hey, it's Eric M. said challenging workout, but the playlist and the way it honored and celebrated members was just phenomenal. And then Allie Love's 30-minute Supreme Soul Ride from the 9th. Christina M. Romano and Hello Fiona Thompson said great Black History Month ride and playlist.
Nice. And then moving on, we have Alex Toussaint's 30-minute superhero ride that did drop on the 10th. And this one came from our very own Pelo Buddy, Mr. Chris Lewis. So Chris said, fun to see Anthony Mackie, Captain America, teaching the class next to him. Definitely do a warm-up first.
Yeah.
And then Christine,
which I did not do.
Which you didn't do. You said it was tough right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Christine Dirkley's 30-minute classic rock ride, also from the 10th, came to us from Megatron's 76 runs and Jennifer Carroll 22. They said great music and coaching. And then Marcel Dinkins' 30-minute Platinum Producers hip-hop run from the 10th at 5:30 p.m. Jason MK2 gave us this one, and they said Marcel picked a great playlist for this one.
All right, moving back to the bike, Matt Wilper's 45-minute PZ Max ride from the 11th. All Biz Liz said tough and really pushed you to the max. Katie Wong's 30-minute row boot camp from the 11th. Bertha C. Runs MD said 6 rounds, so it was quick on and off and so fun. You don't have time to think about how she's killing you, and before you know it, you're done. And then Rad Lopez's 20-minute glutes and legs strength from the 11th. Julie MJ said so good. Great playlist too.
And rounding it off, we've got Emma Lovewell's 20-minute groove ride. This one was from the 12th It dropped a midnight drop. It came to us from Just Dance Lisa, and they said great class and energy from Emma. And last but not least, Bex Gentry's 60 minutes, 7 continents recap run. This one was from the 12th at 10 a.m. It came to us from Misty Spins 8, and they said, great to hear Bex talk about her recent 7 marathons accomplishment. Keep in mind, this is a narrated scenic run, so unfortunately only available on Tread and Tread Plus.
What did you say? Narrated?
Narrated.
Narrated? What does that mean? Narrated?
Narrated means that she spoke. She wasn't on the class.
Narrated.
Yeah, it's my accent.
Narrated.
Narrated.
Girl, English. Narrated. Good Lord.
All right. Well, it was Dex's 60 minutes, 7 continents recap run in case you're looking for it.
It was narrated too.
And that wraps up our picks of the week for this week and the show. So, a lot of information for you guys, a little longer than you're used to this week. But I think we still kept it pretty good.
I'm going to give a quick shout out to Andy Sphere. You know, I'd never, 60-minute strength feels like just like watching paint dry. But for the last 3 weeks, I've done his TS60s live on Sundays, and they've been great. So I'm kind of I'm kind of fully on, and now he's on a long break for I guess a month or so.
Okay,
but I just wanted to shout out Andy and the Spearheads because they've always been chatting up that TS60 class on Sundays, and I always kind of pussed out and said like, oh, I can't handle a 60-minute strength, but
and you did it.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah,
excellent. All right, folks. Well, I guess that wraps it up from us. I will stop narrating. Kind of just came off there, John. I mean, you have to find
it's narrated.
Something.
I was like, what does that mean?
Find something. Anyway, hopefully we gave you what you came for. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, again, apologies for not being around last week, but we hopefully gave it all to you this week. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. So from me here, bye for now, everybody.
Yes, from me here in Michigan, thank you for listening and watching. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.